This ain't in your way, is it, Tim?
Yeah, probably have to move.
All right.
Yeah, trip.
Say again.
Knock down production.
We don't want that.
Never be. I was gonna turn it on earlier, but earlier it was like it's cold.
You said it's cold in here?
When I first moved here, I'm like,
Oh, you got here. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Let's go ahead and pray here. Let me read with Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Shema Yisrael. Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Shemot, for Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. We will have no other mighty ones. Against the Most High. We will not make any carved image. Or any likeness. Of that which is in Shamayim above. Or which is in the earth beneath. Or which is in the waters under the earth. We will not bow down to them. Nor serve them. For Yahuwah our El is a jealous El. Visiting the wickedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate him, but showing kindness to thousands of those who love him and keep his commandments. We will not bring the name of Yahuwah our Elohim to nothing, for Yahuwah will not leave us unpunished who brings his name to nothing. We will remember the Shabbat day. To keep it Kodesh. 6 days we will labor and do all our work. But the seventh day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah. We're in 6 days. Yahuwah made Shamayim and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. And rested the seventh day. Therefore Yahuwah Barak the Shabbat day. We will respect our fathers and our mothers, so that days are long upon the earth. We will not murder. We will not commit adultery. We will not steal. We will not bear false witness against our neighbors. We will not covet anything that is our neighbor. Father Yah, we give thanks for your word, Father, for your commandments that went forth, Father, to keep us set apart from everyone else, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that you would continue to be with us, guard us, Father, protect us as we be diligent unto your word and keep your commandments, Father. We pray that you would charge us by the words of our mouth, that we would be obedient unto your word, Father. Father, we pray for every soul that is gathered here today, Father, for the reverence of your name, Father. We give thanks and ask, Father, that you would keep us, watch over each and every one of us, Father. Father, allow your Ruach, Father, to be with us on this day, Father, to impart wisdom upon each and every one of us, Father, so that you would allow utterance unto the speaker and understanding unto the hearer, so that we all may be doers of your word. Father, we ask that anyone who is in transit, that you would allow them to make it here safely. We ask that the word go forth unimpeded, without obstacles, Father, that they be received well, and that you would supply the increase according to your loving kindness. All these things we pray and we give thanks. So be it. Amen.
Hey, shalom, shalom. How's everybody's week been?
Sounds like it's been long, y'all.
It's been okay. I finally made it.
All right. Title of this is Blame YAH. Right? Got it? Blame YAH. Blame YAH. All right.
Everybody can mute your phone. So it's not your first time visiting. It's your first time here and not the first time visiting with us, is it? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's your first time visiting with us? Yeah. If y'all wouldn't mind standing and introducing yourself. If you wouldn't mind. I can't hear you. Say again. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're pleased to have y'all sisters fellowshipping with us today. You too, brother. You know, even though it's not the first time. Say again. Brother Don. We're pleased to have y'all with us today. Fellowshipping with us. Y'all feel free to come out, fellowship anytime. Y'all know where we at now. Feel more than welcome you amongst family. We ask that if you have questions that you would save them to the end. And we will address them, whatever that question may be. And hopefully you enjoy it and come back and visit and, you know, as much as possible.
All right. So, again, the title of this is Blame YAH. So, I'm probably going to resume the whole temple lessons whenever my next time up. But in light of some stuff that's going on, we're going to go with this lesson today. Right? So, it's again, Blame YAH. Let me ask y'all something. Type of scenario we got, right? Everything in your life is perfect. It's going well. Got a new job. Just got a raise. Husband, wife, situation is perfect, beautiful, the whole nine. What happens? It's a song that we sing all the time. What's that song? How the song go, Martin? Pray. Yeah. Praise is what I. Right? We sing this song all the time, right? It says, whether happy or sad, right? Sing this all the time, right? But what happens when your whole world it flips upside down? Do you still praise him? Do you still go along with him, or do it get a little bit harder? This something creep in your mind, make you start kind of doubting and questioning. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. So, in light of this stuff that went on in Houston, right? So these people living their lives, marrying, giving in marriage, doing their thing, and all of a sudden, some storm comes out of nowhere, right? And knock people out of their houses. Their whole life has been flipped upside down. You know what I'm saying? That good house they just had ain't there no more. The car got washed away. And most of these people didn't have flood insurance, right? They got regular insurance, but they don't got flood insurance. And if you don't got flood insurance, it's not covered, right? So, anybody know how most atheists come about to be atheists? Usually some sort of tragic event happens. Somebody's child dies, or their mother dies. And my mama went to church all her life, right? Why would he take my mama, right? By you not knowing the book, gets you messed up. So, again, when something unforeseen happens, the average person usually turn and blame Yah. Right? Let's see something. Let's get Luke 17:26. Luke 17, verse 26.
The book of Luke, chapter 17 and verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah.
What?
And as it was in the days of Noah.
As it was in the days of Noah. We've been in this scripture many times. Read on.
So shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat.
They did what?
They did eat.
Go ahead.
They drank. They married wives. They were given in marriage.
I mean, everything is beautiful. It's sunny in the world. Read.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
So right here, these people was living their lives. Everything was beautiful. They was marrying, giving in marriage, eating and drinking. They was marrying. And all of a sudden, upside down. All right? Read on. This was before the flood. Read on.
Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot.
Likewise, also like in the days of Lot. These people was doing the same thing. They was building new stadiums, new arenas, the whole nine. Read.
They did eat. They drank. They bought. They sold. They planted. They builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from Shamayim.
Again, just like that, out the blue, fire fall down, kill everybody that don't get out. Right? Read on.
And destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house.
His what?
His stuff in the house.
His stuff in the house. So a lot of people in the hurricane, where they stuff at? It's gone, right? So no matter if you just bought you a brand new Lexus or a brand new 50-inch TV, it's gone. Just like that. In the blink of an eye, all that stuff gone. You might have worked hard for it, right? But I keep the commandments. I follow him. Why would he take my TV and my Lexus? Is that up?
In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife.
What?
Remember Lot's wife.
Remember Lot's wife. The stuff is a wrap. It's gone. That's why we ain't supposed to be attached to worldly things, right? We're going to see something. So, can we think of a righteous man in the scriptures whose life suddenly was turned upside down? Who? Job. Y'all like to bit knives. Y'all like Ginsu. That's sharp. Let's get Job and let's see. Job chapter 1. Job 1 and 1.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Elohim and eschewed evil.
So this man is perfect, right? Says he's perfect. He feared the Most High, and he eschewed evil. He avoided anything evil at all costs. This is Job, right? Righteous man. Read on.
And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she donkeys and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all men of the East.
Greatest of what?
The greatest of all men of the East.
So, in today's terms, Job had everything, right? He rich from his animals. He got a lot of sons and daughters. He got a mansion, the whole 9. And he a righteous man, according to the script. Jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahuwah, and Satan came also among them. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Where are you coming from? And Satan answered Yahuwah and said, From going to and fro in the earth, from walking up and down in it. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Have you considered my servant Job? And there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fears Elohim and escheweth evil. And Satan answered Yahuwah and said, Does Job fear Elohim for nothing? Have not you made an hedge around him and around his house and around all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth your hand now and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face.
He'll do what?
He will curse you to your face.
Sound like he's saying that he'll blame y'all, right? Read on.
And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Behold, all that he has is in your power, only upon himself put not forth your hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahuwah. And there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing, the oxen were plowing, and the donkeys feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone with you to tell you.
So a part of Job's flock just took a hit, right? And the servants just took a hit. Who doing this? Who doing it? Satan is doing this. The Most High is allowing this. But Satan is the one that's doing this. Keep it in mind. Read.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of Elohim is fallen from Shamayim, and have burnt up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am alone to tell you.
So his flock just took another hit. Read.
And while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell you. And while he was yet speaking.
So these things are occurring back to back to back to back. Before one can end, the other one has already started. Right? So again, remember, everything is rosy 1 minute, and the next, snatch the rug from under you. Read.
And while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
Notice what they was doing. What was they just doing? Eating and drinking. Right. Having a party. Ain't this what he's talking about in Luke? They was eating and drinking and having a good time. Right? Read on.
Verse 19. And behold, there came a great wind.
There came what?
A great wind.
A great wind. Who doing this? What does a hurricane bring? Great wind and stuff, right? So every time y'all got ready to bring destruction to a place, what do he do before he do it? He give you a warning. So when he do something, you get a chance to get out the way. He didn't just destroy and bring the flood on the people. He warned them, let them know. Y'all got into the 25th to get out. And I'm going to kill everybody if you don't. Before Sodom and Gomorrah happened, he gave them a warning. I'm going to do this. I'm going to let you know before I do it. You're going to get a chance to repent. If you don't repent, you're going to die a terrible death. He did the same thing for the people of Nineveh, right? He told them, I'm going to do this. I'm going to destroy this place. 40 days from now, y'all don't get it together, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to kill you. But the people in Nineveh, they got it together, right? So keep this in mind. Before y'all do something, always give you a warning. It shouldn't catch you out the blue. Oh my God, the world's finna end. If you follow him, you already know this. Because he's going to give you a warning before he do it. You ain't going to be able to say, I didn't know. Right? Read on.
And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead.
They're what?
They are dead.
They are dead. So all of these animals that Job got in verse 3, his children, his great riches, everything is what? Gone from him, right? Satan is doing this so he can do what? Curse the Most High. Blame the Most High. Let's see what Job do. Verse 21.
Verse 21.
Matter of fact, verse 20.
Verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped.
And did what?
And worshipped.
Job didn't say, oh, my name, I'm a great man. I'm perfect. He said it himself. Why my kids? He fell down and worshiped. Let's see what else he did. Read.
And Job, verse 21, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb.
I didn't have these sheep, these goats, these cars, these mansions. I didn't have none of this when I was born. Read.
And naked shall I return there. And Yahuwah gave, and Yahuwah have taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahuwah. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged Elohim foolishly.
So with all of this, Job ain't turn around and mess up and blame the Most High and say this. Job don't even know about the conversation between the Most High and Yah. He don't have a clue that this took place. Right? So Satan's whole purpose right here is to make him curse Yah or to blame Yah. And this is what's going to be happening a lot before this end time. When this end time is taking place, things are going to happen to try to make you curse Yah. Right? So I see through Facebook some of the people that used to believe in Yah, it actually turned them back to him. Pray for us, y'all. I thank God I still got this. But a month ago, you was against him. Then I seen some people that was believing in him completely turn their back on him. Why would he let this happen to me? I'm questioning God. This just don't make sense to me. That's what's happening right here. You're being tested to see if you really praise him when you happy or you sad. I praise him. Right? That's what we sing, right? Every week. So you're gonna be tested to see if you really believe this. So he mentioned the days of Noah, right? Let's go there. Genesis chapter 6. Pick it up in verse 1.
Bereshit, chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives.
That was what?
And they took them, that they were fair, and they took them wives.
They were fair, and they took them wives. Eating and drinking and marrying, giving in marriage. Right? Read on.
Took them wives of all which they chose. Verse 3. And Yahuwah said, my ruach shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And Yahuwah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
He said, every imagination, every thought was wicked and evil continuously. Do y'all think he's looking down and he pleased with everything right now? Or is he looking down and thinking, I ain't even think it's wicked? I think he's thinking the second part. I think he's sitting on top of the dome, really disappointed, and looking even at the quote-unquote Israelites, who's supposed to know better, right? Read that last verse. Verse 6.
Verse 6. And it repented Yahuwah that he had made man on the earth.
He did what?
And it repented Yahuwah that he had made man on the earth. And it grieved him at his heart.
Did what?
Grieved him at his heart.
So he's looking at his creation, and he actually said, why did I make y'all? He that disappointed. He feel like, why did I even make y'all? You're going to go and do the wrong thing. Genesis 11. Like we was talking about the last lesson, the whole fake unity movement. Right? Time of crises, people want to unite with everybody, right? Oh, it doesn't matter. Put that stuff aside. It doesn't matter if he doesn't believe in the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? We got to come together. Right? 11:1.
Bereshit chapter 11 and verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto Shamaim.
So these people are all one. They one people right here. They all together on one accord. Read.
And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And Yahuwah came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And Yahuwah said, Behold, the people are one.
The people are what?
One.
The people are one. Read.
And they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them.
So after this catastrophe of this flood happened, all these people got together and said, let's come together and build a tower and defy what the Most High is saying. And they had a leader over them at this point. Who is this leader? Nimrod, right? Declaring the end from the beginning. Right? But again, before this flood took place, what happened? What happened? Having a good time, but they was warned, right? Let's see. Give me Amos 3 and 1.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that Yahuwah have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he have no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth, and have taken nothing at all? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahuwah have not done it? Surely Yahuwah Elohim will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
Read that again.
Surely Yahuwah Elohim will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
So it says he don't do anything without revealing it to his prophets to give you a warning so you can get out the way of the destruction that's coming. Right? But what happens when somebody come and tell you about yourself according to scripture? What happens? People usually get mad, right? They usually quote the book of Tupac. Only God can judge me. Right? Ain't that what everybody do? They get mad when we go on the streets and you trying to tell them about the book. You can't judge me. My God, I know it. My God. Jesus said I could. Right? You don't like it. It's the same thing. When Noah was dropping what he was saying, they didn't want to hear it. When Lot was telling them that was coming, they didn't want to hear it. Nobody don't want to hear the truth. Even when you say you love his law. Somebody tell you about yourself out of it. What about you? What you been doing? Right? It's the same thing. So we always make the wrong choice. Always. Give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15. Deuteronomy 30 and 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 15. See, I have set before you this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command you this day to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and these statutes, and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall bless you in the land where you go to possess it. But if your heart turn away,
what?
If your heart turn away,
that's what a lot is going to happen. A lot of people's hearts will get turned away. Read.
But if your heart turn away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land, whether you pass over Jordan to go to possess it. I call Shamayim and Aretz to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live.
The what?
That both you and your seed may live.
So from the beginning, he set these two choices before us. Genesis 3 and 6. Genesis chapter 3 and 6.
Genesis chapter 3 verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So they just did what? They made the wrong choice, right? Genesis 4 and verse 5.
Genesis 4 and 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, why are you wroth? And why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door, and unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him.
So we know Cain did what? He made the wrong choice. Right? Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 8. Eight and 1.
1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second was Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment.
What is lucre? Money, right? What happens when it's suddenly snatched away from you? Read on. Verse 4. And
perverted judgments. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together, and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, behold, you are old, and your sons walk not in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Like what?
Like all the nations.
He told us not to go after the other nations. But they want to be like the other nation. Let's join and be like them. Read.
But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahuwah.
So who is their king right now? Yahuwah. He's the king right now. Read.
And Yahuwah said unto Samuel, listen unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto you, for they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me.
They did what?
Have rejected me.
So how do you think YAH is saying this right here? How do you think you feel about this? Right. So when he said it repented him that he made man on the earth, right? So right here, his own creation, they don't want him no more. We want another king. So how do we think he's saying this? Kind of like I think he might be saying it in a sad voice. Like, they ain't rejecting you, they rejected me. And we know as men, we don't like rejection, right? Right? Don't feel too good, right? Hey, what's up with you, Marty?
I'll forget you then. I'll forget you then.
Exactly.
That's me anyway.
Don't feel right. Don't feel too good, right?
I want to make you.
Yeah. So, again, wrong choice. Children of Israel, wrong choice. Actually, jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. Now therefore listen unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
So he say, listen to him, give him a warning. I'm going to show you the type of king that you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you what you, do you really want this? Read on.
And Samuel told all the words of Yahuwah unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen. And some shall run before his chariots. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50s, and he will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters and to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants.
So who was the first king of Israel, the official king of Israel? Saul. Did Saul do any of this stuff? Saul didn't do this stuff. So he's actually talking about somebody that's coming, probably in our time. Keep this in mind. Read on. Verse 13.
13.
Well, verse 15.
And he will take the 10th of your seed and of your vineyards, and give to his officers and to his servants. And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your donkeys, and put them to his work.
To do what?
To put them to his work. And he will take the 10th of your sheep, and you shall be his servants, and you shall cry out in that day, because your king, which you have chosen.
Which what?
Which you have chosen.
The king which you have chosen. We rejected him. We wanted to be like the nations. Let's come together. We're supposed to be what? Set apart people. Not teaming up and getting with everybody. Read.
And you shall cry out that day, because your king, which you shall have chosen you, and Yahuwah will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, "Nay, but we will have a king over us."
So even to the end of it, they knew what they was getting, and they still chose, I want this guy. I don't want YAH over me. We want to be like the other nations. So they knew the consequences and still made the wrong choice. We ain't gonna even go there. Mashiach and Barabbas. Who did they choose? Barabbas, right? So throughout human history, man has keep on doing the wrong thing, right? So what would make it different for us right now? We can see the track record. We do wrong. We choose the wrong thing all the time. Every time. Right? So what would make it any different? But again, so let's see. Financial type crisis when it come onto the scene. Hunger. Things like this, right? Let's get Numbers chapter 11. Because the people in Houston right now, some of them might have got it back on, but they all trying to get food and stuff, right? The stuff that most people that right now who are not in that situation is taken for granted. You know what I'm saying? Eating your sandwich, get to the last half of it, right? Nothing. Don't even think about it. How much food we all waste up on the weekly. Cook something, have it in there. Next day, cook something up big. After it sit there, throw that stuff out. Right? Because right now, everything is beautiful for you. Everything is all good. Like your boy Jay-Z said, it was all good just a week ago. Just like that, they can switch. That little piece of sandwich you threw to the ant, them Cheetos you threw down, you're going to wish. You're going to wish. Something going to happen. We'll see. Numbers 11 and 4.
Numbers chapter 11 and verse 4. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
Who shall what?
Who shall give us flesh to eat?
Now, we write down the time, we got a whole bunch of people talking about becoming vegans and stuff, right? Vegetarians and stuff, right? And all the people say, man, it is hard to give up that yard food. I'm not saying nothing.
The yard is bad boy. The yard is bad boy.
So the people just come out of Egypt, they are lusting for what?
That yard.
They lusting for meat. These vegetables ain't doing it. I want some meat. So again, we ate it a couple of days, right? Smith's over there cooking that chop. Man, y'all understand, man. Do you really?
Got that other white meat out there?
Let's go back. Verse 5, I believe.
Verse 5. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic.
So the belly god is getting them. They just got free from Egypt, saw all the miracles that Yah was doing, but because of their hunger, they ready to go back. This would be another stupid choice, right? Let me just go back to slavery, because we was eating good in it. Let's go back to the house of bondage so they can beat us down, whoop us, kill all the firstborns, the whole nine, because we want to eat good. Read.
But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna.
So even though they actually still eating. So it's just like children, right? Daddy, I'm hungry. Well, here, eat some of that. Eat some of them greens and stuff. I don't want that. You ain't really hungry then, right? If you don't eat that, you ain't hungry. Ain't that what our mamas always told us?
I still say it.
Right. That means you really ain't hungry. I want something specific. They eating something, but they want something specific. Right? So we see what hunger do to people. Read that verse 6 again.
Verse 6. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna.
Nothing at all besides this manna. Go ahead.
Before our eyes. And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of bdellium. And the people went about and gathered it and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it, and Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased.
And anger of Yah is kindled right here. Moses is displeased. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Yahuwah, wherefore have you afflicted your servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people upon me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them, that you should say unto me, carry them in your bosom, as a nursing father bears the suckling child, unto the land which you swear unto their fathers? Where should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh that we may eat.
Let me make. So these people actually got some food, but they want something specific, right? Meat. The belly god is killing them at this point. But again, so a financial crisis happens, it's going to influence your eating habits, right? Let's see. Revelation 6 and verse 5. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 5. So again, everything is rosy, going along, and one day your job ain't there no more. And you was getting money so easily and freely that you wasn't trying to save none. Oh, this ain't nothing. I'm gonna get it back next week. Right? We do that stuff, right? Oh, ain't nothing. I get my bonus check come next week. Right? Get my big bonus next week, right? Tax time coming. Yep. Might as well go on and get that little item that I've been wanting. That little bracelet from Pandora, right? Nothing. Revelation 6 and 5. Let's get it.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
So he says a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. How much is a penny? In the scriptures, not our penny. That lady is sharp. It's a whole day's pay. Let's see it in script. Matthew chapter 20 and verse 1. So again, the people in Houston, right? Everything was beautiful a week and a half ago. They had a whole bunch of stuff and life was rosy. And just like that, life is upside down. Now they asking people to donate money. Celebrities is getting on TV. I just took the Kevin Hart chart thing, you know what I'm saying? I donated $25,000 through the Red Cross, but they ain't gonna see a dime of it. Right? Just like that. All these GoFundMe pages popped up. You financially don't got it no more. Right? Kind of what this is. Matthew chapter 20 and verse 1.
Matthew 20 and 1. For the kingdom of Shamaim is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers unto his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day.
For what?
For a penny a day.
So a penny a day. It's your whole day's work. So in our time, let's say, what is quote unquote minimum wage now? What is it?
Like $7, $15.
$6.50.
8. So whatever it is, you work a whole day and you make 8 something an hour. You work your 8 hours. The pay that you receive that day is for a loaf of bread. Who can make it off that? Nobody, right? It ain't gonna even work. No, sir, you're gonna have to go get Tamika's and Tammy's, and they gonna have to use it to get this bread. No, ain't gonna work. Verse 9.
Verse 9. And when they came, that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny.
So no matter who it is at this point, your wages is a penny. Your whole day, and the only thing that you can buy with this penny is a loaf of bread or a bag of meal or something. Whole day work. This is a financial crisis right here, which we see in some people going through in Houston on a small scale. What happened when it's worldwide and it ain't nobody to donate to your GoFundMe page because he in it as well, right? So no, I can't depend on those other people now because I'm in it myself. We fighting to get something to eat ourselves now, right? Ain't a good look. Ain't a good look. So when you get hungry, most of the time all bets is off, right? All your righteousness will go out the window. But if you with YAH, it's supposed to work out for you. Let's see something. Genesis 47. Verse 14.
Genesis chapter 47 and verse 14. And Joseph gathered up all the money.
He did what?
Gathered up all the money.
He gathered up all the money. Read.
That was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in your presence?
So why should we die in your presence? So now these people have went into a desperate state. The money has failed in the land. All the money has failed. Now let's see your faith. And if you will, YAH, give me Psalms 37 and 25.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 25. I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
What? Read that again.
I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
So he says, I've been young, I've been old, but I ain't never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. Because YAH take care of his own, right? So even though when they was coming out of Egypt, they had something to eat, right? They just didn't want it, right? I don't want this, man. I'm sick of it. Matthew chapter 6, verse 25. So he said, I ain't never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. Matthew chapter 6, verse 25.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse 25. Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your Father Shamaim feeds them. Are you not much better than they?
Read that from the top again.
Verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment?
So he said, is not the life more than food and the clothes that you wear? Right? Remember, he says, I never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Verse 26.
Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your father in Shamaim feeds them. Are you not much better than they?
So he said, behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather in barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not much better than they? This is, he talk about people that's with him, that's got faith, that paid attention to the warning and got out the way when this stuff was about to take place. Now, I know that this weather stuff is wicked, but even though I don't believe y'all actually caused this, a lot of them people had an opportunity to get out the way, right? And they chose to stay. You actually chose to stay in the way. Then when that water is in their house, and you doing this, I just got that TV, man. I can't leave my stuff. I can't leave my stuff. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I got the safe and the, come on, I can't leave my stuff. Right? You actually pay for your life with this mind state. Verse 27.
Verse 27. Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why take you thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you, that even Solomon in all his esteem was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if Elohim so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith?
Oh, you of what?
Of little faith.
Oh, you of little faith. So soon as these things, our world flip upside down, the faith is tested off the rip. The song go out of your mouth. Right? The thing that Satan tried to get Job to do, come on to you. What kind of God would do this? Where was God at when my house got flooded away? Why he allowed this to happen? Where was he at when my baby drowned in that rain? Right? Ain't this how atheists come along? So think of that Houston thing on a large scale and then put your own self in their shoes. You don't got to answer it out loud, but would you still praise him? I like that. I like that. Absolutely. Let's see. Read on.
Verse 31. Therefore, take no thought, saying, what shall we eat?
Take no thought of what you're going to eat. The righteous, I've never seen them forsaken, nor their seed beg for bread. Don't even think about it. Read.
What shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your father in Shamaim knows that you have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
All these things shall be added unto you. Just rock with me. Don't try to choose nobody over me. Don't put these material things that you got over me. Stay with me, and when these things happen, you're going to be all right. That's what he's trying to show you. You're going to be all right. You got your trust in somebody else. You're going to wash away all the other people. You'll burn up like all the other people. Genesis 45. Verse 1.
Bereshit chapter 45 and verse 1. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, because every man caused every man to go out from me, and there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Does my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence.
What?
Troubled at his presence.
So right here, this is after the money has failed in Egypt. There's a famine. There was 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. This is right after this, right? So the only way that you can eat is if what? You down with Joseph. Joseph is representing Mashiach right here. This is the only way that you can eat. If you ain't a part of this, you're going to starve to death. Right? Hold what you got. Let's get Matthew chapter 24. You're coming back here. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6.
Matthew 24 and 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
You shall hear what?
Wars and rumors of wars.
Every day I see somebody talking about, oh boy, you see that? North Korea just shot some missiles over the thing. Stop it, man. Stop. Every day I see this. Ooh, China and them lining up. They got their ships in the water. You don't stop it. Read on. Verse 6.
And you shall hear wars. You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled.
See that you what?
That you be not troubled.
He told us when you hear these things, don't be troubled. We got to come together, man, to get up out of here, man. Telling you, boy, it's about to go down. See, when you get troubled, you get deceived. And you end up moving to Egypt. For nothing. I kind of know a couple people that went over there. Because we was troubled for nothing. Right? Thermonuclear weapons is coming.
H1N1.
We don't.
H1N1. Water's closed.
See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet.
But what?
But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. All these things got to take place. Back to Genesis 45, verse 7.
Genesis chapter 45 and verse 7. And Elohim sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me here, but Elohim, and he have made me a father to Pharaoh, and master of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Haste you and go up to my father and say unto him, thus saith your son Joseph, Elohim have made me master of all Egypt. Come down unto me and tarry not, and you shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near unto me, you and your children, and your children's children, and your flocks and your herds, and all that you have. And there will I nourish you, for yet there are 5 years of famine.
5 years of what?
5 years of famine.
5 years of famine. Go ahead.
Lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaks unto you. And he shall tell my father, and you shall tell my father of all my esteem in Egypt, and of all that you have seen. And you shall haste and bring down my father here.
So we good right there. So if you wasn't with Joseph, everybody in this region had to come and see Joseph in order to eat. Joseph is representing Mashiach in this actual thing. Also, along with the hurricane, the financial crisis, you had the power go out, right? That means there's no light, no gas, no none of these things, right? Even in Egypt, at night, it gets cold. Let's see something. No power.
Gas station, gas was like $8 a gallon. Bread, they had like stacks of bread. Ridiculous, like $5-10 a loaf or something like that.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Let's get Exodus chapter 10 and verse 21.
Exodus 10 and 21. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, stretch out your hand toward Shamayim, and there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
Darkness that may be felt. This is super dark. So again, the people down there right now, most of them are in the dark. We are scared of the dark from children, right? I ain't going in there, it's dark. He said, this is thick darkness. It's coming again. And if you ain't with YAH, the darkness is going to affect you. Read.
And Moses stretched forth his hand toward Shamayim, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place.
So it's so dark that these people, it's the type of dark that you can put your hand in front of your face and can't see it. Right? Thick darkness. And he said, these people are sitting in one spot because it's so dark. And you know, in the dark, you know how to walk through your house in the dark, right? Yeah, I know that thing right there. I know that's there. I feel my way through. But it's so dark that they don't even do that. That's dark. Read on.
And they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
They had what?
Had light in their dwellings.
So just like he'll feed you, he say, all the children of Israel had light. His people, even in the midst of this, they were still took care of. Just like he said, I'm going to feed you. So when the whole world is in darkness, you're going to still have light. If you're with me. If you choose wrong, like we always do, don't be a part of the darkness. Let's go back. Before the flood, one of the main things that everybody was doing was what? Eating, drinking, and marrying, right? Let's see. Eating and drinking and marrying. Remember we did a lesson, what caused the flood? What was it that caused the flood? And women, remember? She said, huh? Not you, not you. Women, right? So, again, the men say, I want the righteous, virtuous woman, right? But the one that dressed and looked like the harlot is the one that get 300 likes. Right? I didn't say nothing like that. She the one that get the 300 likes and all of the comments, right? The sister that's got the head scarf on, you know what I'm saying? She used to get attention a lot beforehand. So she started looking at them women and say, dang, I mean, I tried to put this long skirt on, but it ain't working. Right? So she say, Throwback Thursday. Right? I gotta show you what I'm working with. Right? I'm not making this up, am I? I gotta show you, you know, I got something back there, right? So she started getting influenced by them women because she don't get the same attention she used to get before.
Right.
Right? We know it. It's just the truth. You know, y'all women like to get y'all attention, right? Gotta have it. Even as a little girl, coming there with the little dress on, you gotta tell her, oh, baby, you so cute. You gotta tell her. Right? This stuff goes all the way to when you grown. All the way. Same thing. Same thing. This is what caused the flood. Right before. Get me Revelation chapter 2. And verse 12. Remember, eating and drinking and marrying, giving in marriage. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 12.
Revelation 2 and 12. And to the messenger of the assembly in Pergamos, write, these things says he which hath the sharp sword with two edges. I know your works, and where you dwell, even where Satan's seat is. And you hold fast my name, and have not denied my faith, even in those days where Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwells. But I have a few things against you.
I have a few things against you. Read.
Because you have there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication.
And to do what?
And to commit fornication.
So, marrying, giving in marriage, eating and drinking. He says, because thou hast them that hold the doctrine of Balaam. What did Balaam do? Anybody know what Balaam did? Balaam was a false prophet. He was supposed to get the children of Israel cursed. But he turned it into a blessing. After he couldn't curse them, he told Balak how to make the children of Israel, how to make the men fail. How did he make them fail? He did what? He used the women. Let's see. Let's go to Numbers chapter 25. He said, this church been doing good things, but this what I got against you. You hold the doctrine that Balaam taught Balak. Numbers chapter 25 and verse 1. Let's see what he was actually talking about.
Numbers 25 and verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom.
To do what?
To commit whoredom.
To commit whoredoms. Read.
with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bowed down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Israel.
So this is what Messiah is referring to. This thing right here, they committed whoredom with the daughters of Moab, and they called the people unto the sacrifice of their gods, eating strange things. It was marrying them, and the people did eat and bowed down to their gods. So, when we first come into this truth, brothers, what's one of the first doctrines that is pushed on us and told us? And it's a thing that all of us at one point was real happy about. What is it?
No, you can have more than one.
The wife thing.
Multiple wives.
Isaiah 4:1. Remember,
That was a linchpin right there.
the great deception.
Put that right on there. The book of Isaiah, chapter 4, and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
You say how many?
7 women shall take hold of one man.
So in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. So when this happened, all the brothers was, whoop, boy, I'm going to have mine set up like this. I'm going to have me an Issachar. I'm going to have me a Benjamin. I'm going to have me a
Every day of the week.
I'm going to have it set up for me. I got mine planned out. So what if it's like you a guy and you like big girls, right? But all the women that they send you are skinny. Or if you like the slimmer ones, he send you all big girls. You still trying to build a nation? Is that what we? Come on now. We still trying to build, or is this really about something else? Is this the pre-flood thing that's going on? Is this Numbers 25 that's going on? Most of the people gonna be mad at me today. Always, but it's cool. Read that again. Isaiah 4:1.
Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel.
Got our own job and everything. Sit back, I don't even gotta work. They can work. Bring the money in for me. They got their own. Let's see what this really talking about. Read on.
Only let us be called by your name to take away our reproach.
To do what?
To take away our reproach.
He says to take away our reproach. Hold that, get Psalms 44 and verse 13.
The book of Psalms, chapter 44 and verse 13. You make us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us.
He said they make us what?
A reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us.
Go ahead.
You make us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. My confusion is continually before me.
Stop right there. So he said, you make us a reproach, us a shaking of the head. Who is the us right here? Who? The nation. That's everybody. So men and women got the reproach on them. Men and woman is got the reproach on us, right? So if this Isaiah 4:1 is talking about us, how can we take somebody's reproach away when we got it? How is that possible? Who takes away your reproach? Let's see. Get me Genesis chapter 30 and verse 20. And I'm not telling no that the person can't have a second wife or something, but this thing right here is not talking about that. This Isaiah 4:1 is not talking about that. This is no. I'm gonna show you what's talking about. Go ahead, read that.
Genesis, go to 31.
Genesis chapter 30 and verse 20.
Genesis chapter 30 and verse 20. And Leah said, Elohim have endowed me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And Elohim remembered Rachel, and Rachel hearkened to her, and opened her womb. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, Elohim have taken away my reproach.
Who took it away?
Elohim have taken away my reproach.
Elohim took away the reproach. Not you marrying this woman and you take it away when you got a reproach on you. The whole nation got the reproach on us. This is why when we go somewhere, they just don't like you, because the reproach is on you. And no one of us can take it off, because we got it on us ourselves. So this is about taking the sin away from somebody. Let's see. Isaiah 44:22.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 22. I have blotted out as a thick cloud your transgressions, and as a cloud your sins. Return unto me, for I have redeemed you.
So only he can do this. Not marrying somebody that's quote unquote righteous is going to take away your reproach from you. Go back to Isaiah 4:1.
Isaiah chapter 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name, to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of Yahuwah.
In what day?
In that day.
In that day shall what?
Shall the branch of Yahuwah.
Who is the branch?
Mashiach.
Nobody don't know who the branch is. Mashiach is the branch. So it's talking about him. In this day, the branch shall be what?
Shall the branch of Yahuwah be beautiful?
Shall be what?
Beautiful.
So this Mashiach, he's going to be beautiful. So it's talking about him. How many churches is it in Revelations? 7, right? So when he says 7 women, he called a church a woman. He called a congregation a woman. He called the children of Israel his wife. So it's talking about him taking on these people and taking away the reproach. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry. This is Islam type of doctrine.
Hey.
What makes them dudes ready to kill themselves because when they run into the building and kill themselves, what do they get? 70 virgins, right? See, all this stuff, you're being tricked. It's trying to make you go back before the flood. It's trying to make you commit Numbers 25. If you ain't careful, right? You're not careful, you're going to fall into the trap. All this stuff was happening before the flood. So let's jump back to before Sodom and Gomorrah happened. Right? Right before Sodom and Gomorrah happened. So we back in the times again. So now we got bold sin. People been sinning and doing wickedness for a long time. But now it's so bold, I'll say, film me doing this. I'm not going to hide and do it anymore. I'm going to do it in the open. Right? It's proud sin. That's what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. It was proud sin. There wasn't no hiding it. That's what we got now. Being fed to us through the TV, through the music, guys wearing dresses, people having sex with animals, on video, with children, on video. Proud sin. Sodom and Gomorrah. All over again. Let's get on. Genesis 19. Pick it up at verse 5.
Genesis chapter 19 and verse 5. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came in to you this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known men.
So Lot is offering his daughters to all these fruit baskets, right? Offering his daughters to him. Go ahead.
Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do you to them as good as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs to be a judge.
So Lot, you came and lived amongst us. Who is you to judge us? They quoted the book of Tupac. Go ahead.
And now will we deal worse with you than with them? And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door.
Now, these are not regular men in this thing. These are 2 angels. Go ahead.
And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness.
So they strike them with blindness. That'll make them give up, right? That'll make them stop. They blind all of a sudden. What happened? Read.
Both small and great. So they wearied themselves.
Old and young fag out there. Small and great. Read.
So they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, have you here any besides son-in-law and your son and daughter, your sons and your daughters? And whatsoever you have in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxed great before the face of Yahuwah.
So they said they're going to destroy this place before Yahuwah. So Sodom and Gomorrah was completely wicked. It was sin everywhere. Just like we see in today. Sin everywhere. The whole world is full of sin. Get me Daniel chapter 8 and verse 23. Daniel 8 and verse 23. How long have you been doing this? Daniel 8 and 23. We can't find that pen then.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8, and verse 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the set apart people.
So in the end, remember when we chose that king, right? In Samuel, he told him that this is the kind of king that you're going to choose for yourself. So when the people is in distress and going through some stuff, it's easy for the guy, the Prince Charming, to come along and sweep the woman off her feet, right? Even though she knows Black Mike really ain't no good. She know it, right? But I need my lights and gas paid. I need this. She know Black Mike sell dope. She know he shoot up people and kill people, right? But hey, I need my lights and gas paid. My baby's got to eat. So Black Mike comes in and be her savior, so to speak. Even though she know he ain't right. Some king gonna come and do this in the midst of the crisis. While the whole world is in a crisis, some king is gonna come and be Black Mike. Swoop you off your feet. It says you shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the Kodesh people. Kind of like how Nimrod came in the beginning and swooped them off. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Because remember, when the prophet comes, we normally don't want to hear the prophet. We normally don't want to hear what he got to say.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
By what?
By any means.
By any means. Read.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
A what?
A falling away first.
A falling away first. This means apostasy. This means you know the truth and you purposely walked away from it. Great falling away is going to happen through some sort of crisis that takes place. So when the man of Yah try to tell you the truth, this is what most people will say. Jeremiah 44:16. Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 16.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44 and verse 16. As for the words that you have spoken unto us in the name of Yahuwah, we will not listen unto you. But we will certainly do whatsoever the thing goes forth out of our own mouth. to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven.
He said, we ain't listening to you. We're going to do what we want to do. Every time we go on the streets, there's always somebody that will argue you tooth and nail. Say that they love y'all or Jesus, but argue you tooth and nail because you don't want to hear the truth. You want to run with the crowd. You want to be a part of whatever look big. Sound, because it looks more beautiful. It's all unite and be one. I don't want to hear what the other guy got to say. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9.
Isaiah 30 and 9. That this is a rebellious people.
This is what kind of people?
A rebellious people.
Rebellious people. Read.
Lying children. Children that will not hear the law of Yahuwah, which say unto the seers, see not.
I don't want you to tell me what's about to happen. Read.
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things.
Tell me smooth things. So even though she know Black Michael Killer, she know that he sell dope and do all this, she tell us smooth things. No, baby, I can't stop doing that stuff. You know, I just own this car wash now. Money is all it's it. I'm Ghost. I'm Ghost. What? Read on.
Prophesy deceits. Get you out of the way.
What?
Get you out of the way.
The Torah is the way. Get you out the way. I don't want to hear the truth, man. Move. Let me do what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9. Y'all ever heard the term order out of chaos? Order out of chaos.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Shaitan.
We always make the wrong choice, right? Read.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
And what kind of wonders?
Lying wonders.
Lying wonders. Lying wonders. Keep that in mind. Lying wonders. Lying means that it's an illusion. It looks real. Read on.
And lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth.
Remember, you don't want to hear the truth of the prophet, right? You didn't want to hear it before the flood. You didn't want to hear it from Lot before Sodom and Gomorrah. You never want to hear the truth. Read.
That they might be saved. And for this cause, Elohim shall send them strong delusion.
He should do what?
Send them strong delusion.
Gonna make you do something that you know ain't right because you chose to be deceived. You chose it. You wanted to be deceived. He's gonna send you strong delusions that you should believe what?
A lie.
A lie. And really this says the lie. Not a, but the lie. Read on.
That they all might be damned who believed not in the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
Had what?
Pleasure in unrighteousness.
Had pleasure in unrighteousness. Revelation chapter 13. Lying signs and wonders. 13 verse 9.
Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword.
He said, he that goes into captivity, he must go into captivity, and he that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. Lying signs and wonders. Go ahead.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he does great wonders, so that he makes the fire come down from Shamayim on the earth, in the sight of men.
Make the fire come down from Shamayim. But what kind of wonders is he doing? Lying signs and wonders. Read on.
And he does great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from Shamayim on the earth in the sight of men, and deceives them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying unto them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast,
breaking the first commandment. Read.
which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Stop right there. So an object is going to come to life, right? This is what he's saying. Can we think of the Old Testament anywhere where an object came to life? What is it? See, right. Exodus chapter 7. Pick it up beside your wife got that before you are. Exodus chapter 7 and verse 1.
Shemot 7 and 1. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, see, I have made you a God to Pharaoh, and Aaron your brother shall be your prophet.
So it's 2 of them, right? Moses and Aaron. That's 2. Keep it in mind. How many angels was that with Lot?
2.
2 of them, right? Keep it in mind. Jump down to verse 8.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then shall you say unto Aaron, take your rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent.
It shall what?
Become a serpent.
It shall become a serpent. So Yah's men did this first. Read on.
And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahuwah had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians.
Now the what?
The magicians.
So it says lying signs and wonders. So when Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear, did he really do that? Or is that a lying sign and wonder? That's a lying sign. But it looked like it to the eyes, all right? That's a lying sign and wonder. But he don't make that thing come alive. Read on.
And they also did in like manner with their enchantments.
With their what?
With their enchantments.
Our law says we don't do enchantments. Read.
For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods.
Did what?
Swallowed up their rods.
Swallowed up their rods. So through magic, they did the same miracle. This is what they're going to do with that statue. They're going to make it come to life. All a repeat. Everything is here. Right? So it was 2 to 2. Amos 3 and 9 one more time.
Amos 3 and 9.
3 and 7, my bad.
3 and 7. Surely the master Yahuwah will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
He do what?
Reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
He revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. So it was 2 angels in the beginning that came to Sodom and Gomorrah to warn them. But again, we never want to hear the truth from the prophet. We always want to accept the guy that's telling the lie. That's going to give you the smooth words. Always, right? Revelation chapter 11, verse 3. So if you ain't careful, you'll end up hating YAH.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 3. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses.
He will do what?
Give power unto my 2 witnesses.
He made this personal. He says, I will give power to my 2 witnesses. Not power to the witnesses, but power to mine. He made it personal. Keep that in mind. So I done a lesson a while back about the 2 witnesses. And I said that it was Enoch and Elijah. It's not so important to know who the 2 witnesses are. It's just important to know and recognize them and not confuse them with the other people. So if we understand, even if you don't know his name or whatever, it's important to recognize who they are according to what they're supposed to do. Read verse 3.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
Clothed in 3-piece suits.
Clothed in sackcloth.
Clothed in sackcloth. That's key. So to the average person, they probably don't look like a bum. Right? We like people to shine though, right? Verse 4.
These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before Elohim of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeds out of their mouth and devours their enemies. And if
fire proceeds out their mouth and devours their enemies. But why would he even mention if any man will hurt them? They the prophets of YAH, right? Why would you want to hurt them? Oh, we got Matthew chapter 23 and verse 37.
Matthew 23 and 37. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you that kills the prophets and stones them which are sent unto you. How often would I have gathered your children together, even as a hen gathers her chickens?
Read up from the top again, verse 37.
Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you that killed the prophets.
That do what?
That killed the prophets.
That killed the prophets. Because remember, prophesy to us smooth things. Get you out the way. We really don't like the truth. Read.
And stones them which are sent unto you. How often would I have gathered your children together, even as a hen gathers her chickens under her wings, and you would not.
And you what?
And you would not.
And you would not. So right here, he letting you know that our people killed the prophets that were sent to them, stone them to death. Because again, we don't like the truth. Go back to that Revelation 3 Pick it up at verse 5 again. Revelation chapter 11, pick it up at verse 5 again.
Revelation 11 and 5. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeds out their mouth and devours their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed.
He must in what?
In this manner be killed.
So whatever you try to do to these two prophets, death is going to come to you in the exact way that you try to cause it to them. Is there anywhere in the Old Testament that we can see this? Somebody try to cause death to somebody and the recompense come back on them in the exact same way? Boom. Boom. That's my brother. Let's see. Esther chapter 5, verse 14. Nope.
Yeah, give you the cheat sheet, didn't Snipe?
Esther chapter 5 and verse 14.
The book of Esther, chapter 5 and verse 14. Then said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends.
Who said this?
Zeresh, his wife.
His wife. Go ahead.
And all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak you unto the king, that Mordecai may be hanged thereon.
So Haman is the guy right here, or Haman has made some gallows for Mordecai. Mordecai is the righteous one. Haman is the evil guy in this story. So he's about to make some gallows to hang Mordecai on it. Right? If any man will hurt them, whatever manner he choose, it's going to come back on him. Let's see. Get me Esther chapter 6 and verse 4.
Esther chapter 6 and 4. And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows.
To do what?
To hang Mordecai on the gallows.
To hang Mordecai on the gallows. Esther 7 and 10.
Esther chapter 7 and verse 10. Haman on the gallows.
They did what?
So they hang Haman on the gallows.
Wow. The same manner he tried to kill Mordecai, it flipped back and got him. Same thing with the two witnesses. We should try to run them over with a car. That's how you're going to die. Go back. Revelation chapter 11. We're almost done.
Revelation 11.
Pick it up at verse 4 again.
Verse 4. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before Elohim of the earth.
They do what?
Standing before Elohim of the earth.
Standing before Elohim of the earth. Hold that. We're coming back. Zechariah chapter 4. Zechariah chapter 4. And we're going to pick it up at verse 11.
Zechariah 4 and 11. Then answered I and said unto him, what are these two olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick, and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again and said unto him, what be these two olive branches, which through the two golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered me and said, know you not what these be? And I said, no, my master. Then he said, these are the two anointed ones.
These are what?
The two anointed ones.
These are the two anointed ones. Go ahead.
That stand by the master of the whole earth.
So these two stand by the master of the whole earth. Remember, he says, these are my two witnesses. My, he made it personal. These are my two witnesses. Get me 1 Kings 6 and 23. 1 Kings 6 and 23.
First Kings chapter 6 and verse 23. And within the oracle he made 2 cherubim of olive tree, each 10 cubits high, and 5 cubits was the one wing of the cherub, and 5 cubits the other wing of the cherub, from the uttermost part of the one wing unto the uttermost part of the other were 10 cubits.
So when Solomon made this, he's making these 2 angels, these 2 that stand before Yah, that stand in the presence of Yah, is something that they witnessed and nobody else witnessed, which what makes them the 2 witnesses. But the people, and I hate the 2 witnesses in the crisis, because all of these things that we've been reading, they're going to all be taking place at the same time. Financial crisis, money gone, everything, lights out, no food. All these things will be taking place simultaneously at the same time. And the 2 witnesses is going to be against 2 other people. And if you ain't careful, you'll end up following the 2 other people because you hate the truth. So what is it that they witnessed and nobody else witnessed? No. Something real specific. We'll see in a minute. Revelations chapter 1, verse 20.
Revelation 1 and 20. The mystery of the 7 stars, which you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the Malachim.
They're what?
Are the Malachim.
They are Malachims. So these 2 that standing before him in the presence are 2 angels. Let's see what they witnessed. John chapter 20 and verse 11. John chapter 20, verse 11. Said, these are my 2 witnesses.
The book of John, chapter 20 and verse 11. But Mary stood without at the sepulchre, weeping. And as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre. And sees 2 Malachim.
She saw what?
2 Malachim.
Go ahead.
In white, sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Yeshua had lain. And they said unto her, Woman, why do you weep? And she said unto them, Because they have taken away my master, and I know not where they have laid him.
So these 2 witnesses, the reason why he said my witnesses, because they witnessed him resurrect. They're the only 2 can claim this. This is why it's personal. My 2 witnesses, they seen this. Right? They witnessed him resurrect. Let's go to Genesis chapter 11. Genesis 11, verse 5.
Genesis chapter 11 and 5. And Yahuwah came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men built And Yahuwah said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them that they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down.
Let who?
Let us go down.
Let us go down. Who do you think went down with him? The two witnesses, always that's there with him. Genesis chapter 18, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 1. And Yahuwah appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him.
How many men?
3 men stood by him.
3 men stood by him. It's YAH and the 2 witnesses. Because everything has to be established by what? 3 witnesses. Always got to happen according to the law. Jump down to verse 22.
Verse 22. And the men turned their faces from there and went toward Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before Yahuwah.
So right here, they getting ready to go do something. What are they getting ready to go do? Burn it down. What did it tell us in Revelations? That these 2 witnesses have power to, if you do this, to bring fire down and to burn you up. They about to go do this to Sodom and Gomorrah. Right now. The 2 witnesses. The same 2 that's going to show up on the scene and tell you how rotten you are in the end. And instead of getting mad, and you know that you're doing something, we tend to say, thank you for showing me that. Thank you for getting me in line. But we don't get mad. It's always happened. We're going to go with the other 2. Genesis 19 and verse 1.
Genesis 19 and 1. And there came 2 Malachim.
How many?
2 Malachim to Sodom at even. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And
jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great.
They got the power to do plagues, to put them on you. Read.
So that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, have you here any besides son-in-law, and your sons and daughters, and whatsoever you have in the house?
The warning. Read.
Bring them out this place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry is waxing great before the face of Yahuwah.
So he says, we're going to destroy this place because the cry has become great. So in a minute, a lot of people going to be crying out to Yah because of the wickedness that's going on around them. And you're going to hear, and you're going to send these 2 people, and they're going to tell you about yourself. And the average one of us is going to get mad at them, just like we always have done throughout Scripture. Verse 24.
Verse 24. Then Yahuwah rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from Yahuwah out of Shamayim.
So they had the power to do this. Back to Revelation 11 and 5. A couple more scriptures we've done. These are the 2 witnesses.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 5. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeds out of their mouth.
The men was trying to kill them, right? After so long. Go ahead.
And devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have the power to shut heaven.
Have the power to shut heaven. Just like Elijah had the power to do this. Go ahead.
That it rain not in the days of their prophecy.
Go ahead.
And have power over the waters to turn them to blood.
Just like Moses was doing before we got out of Egypt. Read.
and to smite the earth with all the plagues as often as they will.
So while they're doing these things, it's going to look like they the bad guys. You see that? They tearing up the earth, but they only doing it because you coming at them. So they're going to look like the bad guys to everybody, and you're going to roll with them. Look, he turned that blood into water. We can't even, we turn that water into blood. We don't got no drinking water. They only did that because of you. It's something that you was doing. It's going to flip back on you. Go ahead. Yep.
And when they have finished their testimony, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them.
And do what?
And kill them.
And kill them. So when the prophets die, surely we're going to be sad, right? And cry, right? Read on.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where our master was crucified.
Oh, that must be America. Yeah, where our master was crucified at. Oh, he wasn't crucified in America, was he? But they always say America is spiritual. That's enough. Read on.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put into graves.
Shall not do what?
And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
They said they're not going to suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. Let's hold that. I'm going to read this. Y'all stay where y'all at. I wonder who the people that do this. Psalm 79:1. Oh Elohim, the heathens are coming to thine inheritance. The Kadesh temple they have defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of Shamaim. The flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there is none to bury them. We are become a reproach to our neighbors. Who is the people that won't let you be buried? He said a reproach to who? Our neighbors. Meaning if this is in Jerusalem, who would be our neighbors? The heathens, those people that's round about. What type of people stay in the Middle East that surround Jerusalem? Wow. Right here, the Old Testament got the answers for everything. You don't have to make stuff up. Go back to this Revelation. That's Psalms 79. Revelation chapter 11. Let's finish it out where we was at.
And they of the people, kindreds and tongues shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put into graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry.
So do what?
And make merry.
So make merry. What is they was doing all the time? Eating and drinking and marrying, giving in marriage. Because they're going to be happy. Read on.
And shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
The two prophets tormented them. No, they wasn't. They were trying to help you. You was coming at them. So that's why they had to get at you. Read.
And after 3 days and a half, the Ruach of life from Elohim entered into them.
Just like the Ruach after 3 days entered into Mashiach, they was the ones who witnessed it. Go ahead.
And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from Shamaim saying unto them, Come up here. And they ascended up to Shamaim in a cloud And their enemies beheld them.
And their what?
And their enemies beheld them.
And their enemies beheld them. Last one. Acts 1, verse 8. Acts chapter 1 and verse 8.
The book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 8. But you shall receive power after that the Ruach HaKodesh is come upon you, and you shall be witnesses. Witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of Eretz. And when he has spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward Shamaim as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. Two men
read,
stood by them in white apparel, which also said, you men of Galilee, why stand you gazing up into Shamaim? This same Yeshua, which is taken up from you into Shamaim, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go unto Shamaim.
So right here, sum this whole thing up. Order out of chaos. Your cushy life soon will be turned upside down. And you won't know what to do. Gas, lights, food, all these things will be scarce unless you were YAH. All these things will be scarce, and you won't know where you're going to eat next or have clothes. None of these things like this that's going to happen. And while these things are happening, you'll be in a desperate state. Fool guy will come out of nowhere, tell you a whole bunch of lies. You'll believe it. 2 righteous people will come and tell you the truth about yourself and what you need to do. And more than likely, you're going to reject them and prosper with this other guy. Think that you're prospering, and you're going to eat, drink, be merry, marry, give in marriage, and suddenly, just like before the flood, you're going to get took away. Just like before Sodom and Gomorrah, you're going to get burned up because we always make the wrong choice and blame YAH. So with that, say shalom.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Check this chat. No questions, comment, anybody? Check out this chat. Check.
Well, I got one question. So knowing how to identify these 2 witnesses, really gonna be knowing this law.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because say for instance, the miracle actually happens. Say for instance, he gives you a prophecy, right? And it actually happens. What do we do for that? It's key. Do what? Research it in the book. Where should we go? Book, chapter, and verse. You got it? Book, chapter, and verse. Where should we go? If the false prophet comes out and give you a prophecy and it actually comes to pass, how do we know that this is a false prophet? False prophet. We know it's the law, but where? And we've been over this before. Let's get it. Deuteronomy. Not Fooleronomy, but Deuteronomy. 13. Deuteronomy 13:1. This is how you know a false prophet.
Deuteronomy chapter 13 and verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto you, saying, let us go after other gods, which you have not known, and let us serve them.
So what would this make this guy? A false prophet. So even if the sign, the lion sign or the wonder happened that he said, soon as he tell you something against this law, you fake, buddy. That's how you know. Deuteronomy 13 is the false prophet buster. So, anything else before we close out? Going once, twice. So, we close.
Let's pray out. Hey, booby. Father, Yah, we come to you once again, Father. Thank you for the word that went forth. Ask you, Father, that you would let it fall on the good ground of our hearts, Father, that you would provide the increase, Father, as we water this word according to your word, Father. We thank you for the word that went forth, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that on that day when your son returns, Father, that we would be in right standing with you, Father, that we would remove anything that is unlike you, Father, so that on that day, when it comes time to enter into the kingdom, you can say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Father, we pray that you would just keep us on that straight and narrow path, Father. Keep us continuing to follow after your law, Father, continuing to live and meditate daily, Father, in your law, understanding that righteousness comes that way. Father, that we will continue to pray and fast, Father, that you will continue to order our steps to be a light unto our path, that we will be able to speak a word of life into others, Father, that we will be a light unto the rest of the world, Father, that we will be able to wake your people, Father, according to your will. Father, we pray a special prayer over every person in this building, Father, that you would just continue to strengthen us in your word, that we will continue to walk and not run, Father, that we will not become weary in our well-doing, Father, but we will continue to strive and continue to walk down that straight and narrow path, Father, daily, crucifying our flesh and bringing it into submission, Father, walking in righteousness and upright, Father, perfect like Job and perfect like Noah. All these things, Father, we pray and we give thanks. Bashem Yehovah Bekaya Hoshua Hamashiach or Ruach HaKodesh, so be it. Avinu Shabbat Shemayim.
Avinu Shabbat Shemayim.
Ikadosh.
Ikadosh.
Shenka.
Shenka.
Tabo.
Tabo.
Malkutka.
Malkutka.
Yeaseh.
Yeaseh.
Ratsonka.
Ratsonka.
Ba'aretz.
Ba'aretz.
Kasher.
Kasher.
Nasha.
Nasha.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Tein Lanu.
Tein Lanu.
Ayom.
Ayom.
Likim.
Likim.
Hikanu.
Hikanu.
Uzlak.
Uzlak.
Lanu.
Lanu.
Eight.
Eight.
Ashmatenu.
Ashmatenu.
Kasher.
Kasher.
Sukim.
Sukim.
Anaknu.
Anaknu.
Kasher.
Asher.
Ashmu.
Ashmu.
Lanu.
Lanu.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Tabinu.
Tabinu.
Lede.
Lede.
Masa.
Masa.
Ki.
Ki.
In. Hasulanu.
Hasunanu.
Mi. Para.
Para.
Ki.
Ki.
Laka.
Laka.
Amamlaka.
Amamlaka.
Wahagibora.
Vahagibora.
Wahatipare.
Rahatiparet.
Lome.
Lome.
Ulami.
Olami. So be it.
Kids,
But-
boys.
No, they know. I do, but it'd be too much pressure.
BJ was just
Yeah. It'd be too much pressure saying it in front of everybody. I don't want to slip. Yeah, I don't want to slip.